Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 4 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now before we get to your news, of course, do want to highlight your weather forecast as it is a First Alert weather day today. We've been tracking the potential for some snow across parts of eastern North Carolina. Certainly not all of eastern North Carolina is going to be seeing the snow, at least this go round. Feels pretty gloomy outside when you look through some of our live cams across the east. This one again at Pitt Greenville Airport, 37 degrees. Feels like 29 when you factor in that northeasterly breeze coming in at 14 miles an hour. It is not snowing quite just yet in Pitt County, but we are again seeing some radar indications of snow north of Pitt County across parts of Nash, Halifax, Edgecombe, Northampton, Bertie, Martin, Hertford, Gates, Chowan counties. It is going to continue to spread, at least that snowfall potential for areas north of Highway 64 and west, particularly west of Highway 17. Now, those of you watching along the north side of the Albemarle Sound, you guys, again, will be kind of that outlier group that's going to break that west of Highway 17 rule. You guys, obviously, east of 17, and will be seeing some snowflakes. But once you get to areas around Plymouth and Columbia, snow becomes a little bit more difficult to come by because of your proximity to the Sound. Sound generally holds on to a little bit more heat, and that does impact your air temperatures. Now, moving forward through the next several hours, we'll continue to see that line of snow try to push its way further southward, including more of inland eastern North Carolina in that potential snowy mess. Right now, the DOT crews are out and about, doing their thing, they're out trying to get as much of the brine down on roads as possible. It's a difficult task because the rain showers coming down right now will do a great job of washing all of their hard work away. So it's all about timing when you're treating your roads in this type of a situation. But again, do want to give those DOT crews credit. They are doing wonderful work, doing what they can to keep us safe. It's just Mother Nature right now is kind of throwing them a curveball. Not the easiest situation to handle. But by the time we get to 3 a.m., a lot of the moisture is going to be gone, and we'll be looking at clearer skies and, well, icy conditions early tomorrow morning, but that ice should fade away as we make our way towards lunchtime. But if you're heading out the door early tomorrow morning, understand that it could certainly be slick in more than just a few places. Certainly over bridges, that's where we're anticipating the greatest danger for slick roads. Now, really quick, do want to highlight what we are seeing actively right now. We have our very own Amarachi Uche, who sent in this kind of update from Hertford County earlier in the day. Here's a look at what she had to say.
Amarachi Uche here with WITN News. If you can't tell by my hair or the background, it is beginning to snow here in Hertford County. I'm gonna let you get a look around here as I tell you what the conditions we're seeing. I'm downtown Ahoskie right now in Hertford County as I was talking to North Carolina Department of Transportation crews who are out prepping these roads here, putting thousands and thousands of gallons of salt brine on them so drivers like these ones here would be prepared for these wintry conditions we're seeing now. You can see the snow just coming down now. It's only supposed to get harder. I know that there's a winter weather advisory for Bertie County as well as Hertford County. Those are the two counties that crews were prepping today. You can see, let you turn around now to the other side and just see the snow coming down here. Earlier, I was speaking to some of these drivers that are out on the road. Some of them have to work tonight during the snow times, and they say they're a little worried about driving in the snow, so they're just going to take it one step at a time. But the crews were out prepping the roads. They're saying that if you can avoid driving during these times, they advise you to do that. But like I said, the snow is out. I heard a little kid already outside cheering about the snow. It's not a lot yet to build a snowman or anything like that just yet. But again, as you can tell, it is snowing here in eastern North Carolina.
Well, thank you, Amarachi, for that report. Again, here is a look at what we're anticipating accumulation-wise. 2 to 4 inches will be possible for those of you watching closer to the Virginia line. Virginia is going to enjoy, have been enjoying, hopefully they've been enjoying it, straight snowfall across most of the state so far today. Now we're kind of getting the leftovers off of that system coming in right as our air temperatures start to fall. That's why most of eastern North Carolina likely not going to be seeing much out of this system. Rocky Mount, Tarboro, Oak City, Windsor, Edenton could certainly get around 1 to 2 inches of snow. Greenville, Goldsboro, Kinston, Washington, Chocowinity, Plymouth, Edenton, even I would say Edenton's closer to 1 to 2 inches. I think Elizabeth City is more of an up to 1 inch type of a town, but not going to be seeing again enough snow to certainly go sledding in, unless of course you don't mind sledding in mud. That's the only way you're going to get that to work out. But we do have another round or potential round of cold weather and possibly wintry weather coming up next week. But for today, here's what we've got for the rest of the day. Rain showers already coming down. We're starting to see that transition from rain to snow already occurring across parts of eastern North Carolina. As Amarachi just mentioned, Hertford County, one of those areas that has seen that crossover from rain to snow. Now, while again, it could get dangerous later on tonight if we do see some snow accumulations on the roads, tomorrow morning I think is going to be more concerning, especially around bridges because of the icing effect. Overnight lows expected to get down into the 20s tonight across many inland areas, and with that type of temperature forecast plus the moisture we've got, the loss of heat around bridges will create again some very slick and icy spots on those parts of the road. So again, heed the signs. Bridge ices before road. We've got them across eastern North Carolina. Understand that they mean business this time of year, especially in these types of scenarios. So again, go easy, go slow over those bridges if you're doing any driving here over the next 12 to 18 hours. Here's a look at your current air temperatures. Most of us are seeing those temps slowly fall. The Outer Banks, though, along with those of you watching around the Pamlico Sound, still enjoying the upper 40s. Not quite as cold as what inland areas are seeing, but everyone is cooling off. 32 degrees in Roanoke Rapids, 32 degrees in Ahoskie. We've got 34 in Rocky Mount, 37 in Edenton, Greenville, and Goldsboro, 39 in Kinston and Plymouth, 38 in Washington, along with Elizabeth City. The faster those temperatures down, the faster we can potentially start to collect some snow on some grassy surfaces around a few of those areas. Now, winds are doing what they can to keep that cold air flowing. Right now, seeing about a 15 to 20 mile an hour sustained breeze across the east. Through the rest of today, again, we'll maintain those winds as we head through the overnight, at least through the evening hours, most likely through the overnight hours as well. 31 degrees as we head towards 10 to 11 p.m., dropping down again into the mid to upper 20s by the time we reach tomorrow morning. 27 degrees will certainly have a bite to it if those winds stay in the, I would say, 7 to 15 mile per hour range. Early morning cloud cover is not going to be sticking around long. We'll see that slowly fade away as we head towards 10 to 11 a.m. and that will help push our air temperatures back above freezing once we get to lunchtime, and that will leave us with warmer weather for the following several days. 41 degrees coming up for tomorrow. Certainly not warm by any stretch of the imagination, especially that cold start that could again delay schools early tomorrow morning. And then we've got 54 degrees coming up for Thursday after spending Wednesday at 53. Now we'll cool off from Friday into Saturday and Sunday, even into next Monday. Next week right now is looking a little bit cooler than what we've got this week. Now, normal this time of year is the upper 50s. We are going to be shy of that mark for potentially a 14 to, I would say, at least a 14-day stretch at this point, possibly 15-day stretch. It is again going to be abnormally cold as we get closer and closer to Christmas. But this also again increases the likelihood of potentially seeing a white Christmas this year. So if that's something you've always wished for, always hoped for, you got to take the price that comes with it, and that is cold air and chilly conditions ahead of that snow coming in on Christmas. Well, that's what we've got as far as weather goes. We do have some news stories we'd like to share with you. This out of Duplin County, where the state is fining an animal shelter due to multiple violations. According to a news release, Animal Welfare Society received several complaints on November 10th of suspected violations against the shelter. On November 12th, a former employee alleged animal abuse and improper euthanization procedures to WITN after being fired. Now, state inspectors visited the shelter November 17th as part of an investigation. During their visit, inspectors say they checked on enclosure containing 2 kittens and found a dry water bowl. They say one kitten was found dead, and the other, which was then provided with water, drank for 3 consecutive minutes. Other violations in the document allege the shelter's failure to document euthanasia procedures, clean litter boxes, sanitize water bowls, and provide dog houses for outdoor dogs, repair broken equipment, and failure to document daily social interaction with long-term animals. The shelter received a civil penalty of $1,700, which must be paid within 60 days or appealed. And now we want to turn to the latest from the Ukraine war. NBC's Molly Hunter has more.
Overnight, Russian drones pounded the northeastern region of Sumy, injuring at least 7 people, according to officials, as emergency workers battled the blaze, evacuating civilians from this apartment building. As the massive Russian attacks keep coming, President Trump told reporters Ukrainian President Zelensky isn't ready to sign the U.S.-authored peace proposal.
I'm a little bit disappointed that President Zelensky hasn't yet read the proposal. That was as of a few hours ago.
Following 3 days of talks between Ukrainian and American negotiators in the U.S., Trump said he believed Russia is on board.
Russia's fine with it. Russia, I guess, would rather have the whole country when you think of it. But Russia is, I believe, fine with it, but I'm not sure that Zelensky is fine with it.
But Russian President Putin has made no such announcement. Zelensky saying in his nightly address he expects information about everything that was said by Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner when they met with Putin in Moscow last week. Adding he'd spoken to Trump's envoy and son-in-law over the weekend, calling it a constructive conversation, though not an easy one. The American president wants a deal and is tiring of the shuttle diplomacy, his eldest son taking questions in Doha this weekend.
But is your hunch that President Trump is going to walk away?
I think he may. What's good about my father and what's unique about my father is you don't know what he's going to do.
But as Russian attacks target key infrastructure, for Ukrainians facing a 4th Christmas plunged into freezing darkness, a dignified deal that ends the fighting without a full capitulation to Russian demands can't come soon enough.
Well, thank you, Molly, for that report. That's all we have time for today's 4 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning with more from Jim and Gigi. We'll start that at 7:15 a.m. tomorrow morning. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Monday. We'll see you back here coming up tomorrow.